What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into DLF. I am back from vacation, and that means we are talking 5 moves to make heading into week 9. Now, like I said, right, I was out last week. We missed week 8. That's okay. There's still a ton of stuff for us to do. We are at the halfway point in the NFL season here, or just about the halfway point. And that means there is a whole lot going on. There is a whole lot for us to do. So let's get into it. First move on the list, it's a little bit redraft, it's a little bit dynasty, and it is to add and start Justin Fields. Now, in dynasty, in 1 QB leagues, maybe Justin Fields is out there. He's available probably in 10, 15% of sleeper leagues. In 2 QB leagues, obviously, he's rostered. Why would he not be? And in 2 QB leagues, you've been starting Justin Fields. That's great. This is not for you. In 1 quarterback leagues, in redraft, you should be adding and starting Justin Fields for at least the next 3 weeks at a minimum. And that is because in the last month, over the last 4 games, Justin Fields is the QB6 in points per game. He is, as I'm recording this, he is the QB3 on the week. Burrow may pass him, maybe Jacoby Brissett on a miracle. But right now, he is guaranteed to have back-to-back top 5 QB finishes. And then on top of that, he gets Miami. He gets Detroit. He gets Atlanta. Those are 3 of the easiest matchups in all of fantasy for quarterbacks. This new style Bears offense is basically mimicking the Ravens. They've talked about it several times now. They're giving Justin Fields design runs specifically inside the red zone, right? He has a rushing touchdown in back-to-back weeks on the exact same play. So his value is increasing. His floor in fantasy has raised significantly, as has his ceiling, right? The rushing upside, all of those things, he's basically looking like a 2021 Jalen Hurts, which means you don't have to pass a ton. I don't care if he's thrown for 200 yards twice. It doesn't matter. Like, that stuff is irrelevant. I don't care about that kind of commentary because it's fantasy, and he's running a ton. So basically, all I need to say is 2021 Jalen Hurts. That's what you're looking at with Justin Fields right now. Maybe less rushing touchdown opportunities because the offense is worse than Philly last year. But still, you have him, you're starting him. He is a top 10 quarterback with a top 5 ceiling each and every week for at least the next 3 weeks. The next move to make, add Ronnie Rivers. And if you're not sure who that is Ronnie Rivers of the Los Angeles Rams. Obviously, right, Matthew Berry dropped a nugget on Saturday night saying, heads up, Ronnie Rivers may be the starting running back, may see the most touches in that Rams backfield. And while he didn't play the most snaps, he did see 12 opportunities, 12 touches, 4 targets. And again, he wasn't great. He wasn't very good. There's no other way to put that. But the volume was there. And in Dynasty, right, we're looking for anybody with a pulse. He's rostered in only 22% of leagues over on Sleeper. And that is enough to say, yeah, add him as a speculative add until Kyren Williams is back, right? Maybe Kyren Williams comes back this week and Ronnie Rivers disappears. That's very much a possibility. But in Dynasty, right, we're looking for guys with a pulse. That's what he has right now. Clearly, Darrell Henderson is not good. I think the Rams have just accepted that at this point. Cam Akers isn't playing. Ronnie Rivers also bad. So really, Kyren Williams is the big winner here. But spoiler, he's probably going to suck as well because the Rams, their running backs just all kind of suck. The offense is not built right now to have fantasy success for running backs. But again, Ronnie Rivers, he has a pulse. So go out, add him. Maybe it turns into something. It's most likely nothing. But you can never be too sure. Get him on your roster. Third on the list, and this one is weird. I think it's a weird move. But I think, again, if you buy into the idea, the concept that you trade for talent and you'll deal with situation later, why are you not trading for Elijah Moore? That's the move. Trade for Elijah Moore right now because his value continues to plummet. It may very well have bottomed out, right? He plays 10 snaps. He's the wide receiver 5 on the Jets with Corey Davis out in terms of snaps played, right? He's behind Jeff Smith. He wants out of this just crappy situation. Is it a guarantee he gets traded? No, it's not. But again, I still think Elijah Moore is really good. And that's the difference between this situation and the Denzel Mims situation. Denzel Mims didn't have a great rookie year. I didn't think Denzel Mims was a particularly good player coming out of college. And I think he's proven that's the case. Elijah Moore has value around the NFL. I think it's malpractice for them not to trade him at this point, because if he's your wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6, and teams are willing to give up a third-round pick for the dude, why are you not making that trade? It's crazy to me, but again, I'm not a GM. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Still, I still think Elijah Moore is talented. You don't do what he did last season with 4 different quarterbacks, average 17 points a game, if you don't have some level of talent, right? Some level of capable NFL skill set. Elijah Moore is good. So I'm going to bet on talent there, right? Now, am I going to give up a first-round pick? No, that's stupid. Am I going to give up a high second? Also, no, I think that's a bad idea. But if you can get him for a late second, if someone is ready to just cut bait and give up a late second, in a 12-team league or a third in a 10-team league, sure. Go ahead, pull the trigger. I mean, that is what you have to do to get Elijah Moore. Now, if people are still valuing him as they were to start the season, then don't make that deal. I think that's a bad trade. That's a bad investment because you're taking on all of the risk. So don't make that kind of move. But again, if you can buy him cheap, I'm going to do it because, again, I say it all the time, I'm going to trade for talent. I will deal with situation later. And I think Elijah Moore is still a damn good wide receiver right now. And these next two, we have 2 players to trade away. This one, if I wasn't on vacation in week 8, he would have headlined this whole video series. It is sell Brian Robinson. Now, last week, right, week 7, let's go back another week. Week 7, right, he's coming off of 20 touches, 2 targets. He looks to be building his role in the offense. But it's obvious, Brian Robinson just probably isn't that great of a running back, right? He kind of runs and feels like a jag right now, which is, if you're not familiar, just a guy. I think he's a replaceable NFL level talent, and we kind of saw it, unfortunately, pop up in week 8, right? 8 touches, no targets. He's just a rushing-only, TD-dependent guy in a very bad offense that's probably not going to be getting better anytime soon, right? Carson Wentz is on IR for maybe another 2 weeks, maybe longer. Brian Robinson is just not even the best running back on his own team, right? Antonio Gibson is the best running back on that team. I still firmly believe that. I am still very much in on Antonio Gibson. Brian Robinson only played 25% of snaps. Again, 8 carries, his lowest total in 3 weeks. It's just, we're probably a week late here now, but if you can go trade him for a second, do it. I don't care if it's a high second, a mid-second, late, whatever. Trade Brian Robinson because a TD-dependent, rushing-only running back on a crappy offense is typically not where I want to place my money, especially at the running back position when you can just find guys popping up from injuries and all this other kind of crap that are producing better than Brian Robinson. Flip him for literally anything. I don't care. Move on. He's not going to be, I think, a long-term NFL player. He most likely is a solid handcuff, and that's fine. But if I can get a second rounder for someone that people think is better, I'm going to make that deal right now. And to close us out, the last move here, it is to sell low on Najee Harris. So I have made this move several times throughout the course of this NFL season. I have been shipping out all of my Najee Harris. He's officially off all of my Dynasty teams. And my most recent deal, this is heading into week 8. I got Deontay Johnson, who I'm also, I think, buying low on, a high 2023 second, and a 2024 second rounder for Najee, and 2/3 in 2025. I'm fine with that kind of deal because if you watch Najee Harris right now, it's not just the offensive line. And that plays a factor, right? There's a reason he's averaging 3.3 yards a carry. I don't think he's that terrible. Part of that's the line, right? We get that. But if you watch him, specifically, we've all seen the clip of that swing route or the kind of block and release catch he had where he dances in mud and then gets tackled for like a yard. He just doesn't have the explosiveness. He doesn't have the wiggle, right? He's losing volume. He's losing snaps. He's losing rushes to Jaylen Warren. He's losing targets to Jaylen Warren. He's gone from this volume machine that was 400-plus opportunities to something significantly worse. And now he doesn't have the volume to make up for the inefficiency. And I don't think this team is going to be making a massive jump next season. I don't think they're making a massive jump mid-season that's going to all of a sudden give him a ton of red zone opportunity. This just feels like a guy I want off my rosters desperately. Like, I want Brandon Ayuk and a pick for Najee Harris if you can get that anymore. Again, Deontay and picks, make that deal. Any of those middling wide receivers, DJ Moore, go trade him straight up. That window's probably shut now too, but kick the tires. Maybe somebody's buying in. Just find the team that needs running back depth and watch them convince themselves that Najee Harris is going to solve that problem for them. Because I don't think he does. Najee Harris, sell low. It sucks, but this is the world we're in. Pivot, basically, is a landmine. Let him sit on somebody else's starting roster. All right, guys, that is all we have. Those are the 5 moves this week. If you have questions, comments, drop them down below. Addison will get back to you. If you have, you like the video, you want to subscribe, like it, all that kind of stuff, do that too, I guess. As always, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.